do is I want to talk about something called the human energy system. And I thought about it the other night, and I went, what is the human energy system? What does that mean? It means that we are all energy, right? We've already talked about how we're energy. And what is this human energy system? How do we replenish it? What does it need? I mean, this is what we're doing. This is what dictates how much energy you got, whether or not you can accomplish, whether you can finish the goal, get to what you need, carry on, digest, have good bowel movements, you have good respiration, how your heart functions, liver function, kidney function. It all depends on your human energy system. How your lymphatic system works, it all depends on it. Now, when we look at the human energy system, basically what I really want to look at in the beginning with is something that is extremely valuable for the human energy system, and this is where all disease, all dysfunction comes from. It's called rhythm. No, it's not rhythm and blues. It's rhythm and tone. Now, rhythm and tone, these are the keys, because if you have rhythm and tone, and I'll explain what that is in a second, then your body has balance. And when your body has balance, then you have vitality. Because that's what in the body it is, and also the mind. Also the mind. So just for a second, let's just look at rhythm and tone. Now, I chose these words because this is what in the esotericism, in the Sufi healing path of how to understand and how to go into the electromagnetics of the body, we use the words rhythm and tone. This is from Sufi mystic Sufi Inayat Khan. But rhythm, let's look at rhythm for a second. Rhythm, what do you think rhythm is in the body, in the human energy system? What is rhythm going to be? It's going to be circulation. It's going to be regularity. This is what we're going to have with it. How does that equate into the human body? Well, rhythm is going to be circulation and regularity. So what does that mean? Heartbeat, pulsation. Every organ has a pulse. Your brain has a pulse of, I think it's around 18 beats per minute. Your heart has a resting heart rate. It's usually around between 64 and 70, depending on who you are and what your body, what you're doing. Everything, your bowel movements. You have a regular rhythm. You should be bowel moving every morning. You should wake up and say, yeah, I'm going to the porcelain god and pay my homage and leave a nice donation. This is how we should look at regularity. Women, your menstrual cycle every 28 days. That's a new moon, right? That's why the woman's cycle is called a moon cycle. Because every 28 days you're clearing out the egg and the endometrial tissue in the uterus. Men, we have a menstrual cycle. Ours is every 10 to 11 days. And ours is an energetic. Ours lasts for about 8 to 12, maybe 15 hours. Women, yours is going to should last for 3 to 5 days, and actually a 7-day energetic period. We need to have rhythm because this is going to help generate our balance. So the rhythm is really important. Heartbeat, pulses. Now, if we have a proper rhythm, eating at the same time, going to bed around the same time, doing things around the same time, in harmony with the seasons. In harmony with the seasons. Because in the winter time is a time for storage. You usually go to bed early and you sleep a little later. In the springtime, you go to bed comfortably at a mid-time and you wake up a little earlier. Summer, you go to bed late and you get up early. In the autumn, you usually go to bed a little earlier and you sleep and you get up a little later. It has a regular cycle to it. So the 4 seasons have these rhythms. Once we tune into the rhythm of nature, then we can see how our body works with it. Yeah, Lisa? You got it. Okay, I just want to make sure you got this. Okay, now, how does the mind work with this? So we know the body. What is the mind situation? If the mind has rhythm, the mind is going to be strong. It's going to be firm. It's going to have concentration. This is how the mind is going to show its rhythm. It's going to have a good, strong mind firm. It's going to be steady. You'll be able to hold your focus. If we have lack of rhythm, what is lack of rhythm? Lack of these two right here. If you look at your paper, and I believe it's on the bottom of page 3. If you look at that, and you see where it says number 2 on the bottom there, the principles of illness, disease, dysfunction, and harmony of the body and mind. Number 2, congestion, stagnation, blockage, poor circulation of the blood, body fluids, and substances. Wastes out, nutrients in, lack of breath power. This is lack of rhythm. That's what rhythm, lacking rhythm is. Congestion. Lacking rhythm is congestion, blockage, stagnation. And I would probably, as a clinical, in my clinical practice, I usually see women between the ages of 18 and 35 with liver, qi, stagnation. In stagnation, you'd be surprised. You have pain, that's stagnation. There's a blood not flowing to that area. That's what pain is. Blood's not going to the nerve. Women, if you have menstrual problems, say you have premenstrual, if you have premenstrual syndrome, and you get PMSy real easy on that stuff, and your breasts get tender, and you get a little ultra sensitive before you break blood, and then you break blood, and you start your menstruation, and your breasts aren't so tender and swollen, and your evil twin is gone, and you're back, and everything's fine again. That's a liver qi stagnation. That's textbook liver qi stagnation. Your liver is congested. And usually women, because we'll talk about that later why. So lack of rhythm is going to mean congestion, blockage, and stagnation. Obstruction. Things are blocked. Same with the mind. We lose our strength of mind. Now, also when we have lack of rhythm in the mind, we have something called memory loss. We have something called depression. These are where the rhythm of the mind has been broken. We get easily influenced by our dysfunctional thoughts. Dysfunctional thoughts convert into dysfunctional emotions. That's how the game goes. You have a dysfunctional thought, and next thing you know, you're going to be acting out or shutting down. That's how we do it as humans. So you see how important rhythm is, especially because it keeps things moving. It's the regularity and the circulation. Now, tone also, but tone is up here, is that number 1 I wrote there. Lack of energy, weakness is lack of tone.
What's the rhythm of the mind?
The rhythm of the mind has a certain how it works with its own thinking. The mind goes through different cycles. The brain has its neurotransmitters, so how they're secreting and working. But the mind is not in the brain. The mind is in every cell of the body. And the mind actually has its home in the heart. We'll talk about that when I'm going to do a lecture on the mind. There's a little bit more to it. But learning how to use the mind by keeping the mind steady in concentration creates the rhythm of the mind, which builds its power. When the mind loses its rhythm, it's chaos and confusion. So this is basically how you are using your thought forms. Saturday we went for a walk in the woods. For those who were with us, remember we did a 4-count step with our breath, with a saying, a mantra, an affirmation on our breath. You guys remember that? What was I doing with that? What were you doing with that? You were building your rhythm of your mind, because the breath and the mind work together. So we were walking 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're doing it in nature, so we're being saturated with nature's energy. We're getting a rhythm going in our breath, rhythm going in our mind, rhythm going with our thought forms, because we were also using a 4-syllable mantra as we walked. The mantra that you made, whatever mantra you created. You see what I'm saying here? For those who are with me on Saturday, does this make a little bit more sense to you? Because what we did on that walking practice is we built rhythm. And rhythm breaks congestion, stagnation, and blockage. And rhythm creates a strong, firm mind. And that's what we did with that.